This girl on Facebook, I literally saw it this morning before I came here, and she's like, if you dealing with me, you know I have a kid, you should just know I shouldn't have to ask you for money, you should just give it to me, you know I have responsibilities. That guys were going crazy in the comments, but she was dead serious. When did we get to the point where we're not even in a committed relationship, but for some reason the man is responsible for taking care of you and someone else's child and all this other stuff? And I just feel like it's this big fairy tale world that a lot of women kind of live in, where they feel like if they end up with someone who's not their sponsor or taking care of them, or, you know, letting them live this soft life, as everybody's saying, they feel like they're set.
I mean, it seems that way because it is, right? And this is really the result of the last 20, 30 some odd years of R&B, all these books, Steve Harvey or the like, all these mediums that through forms of entertainment, movies, Waiting to Exhale, things of that nature, it has gotten women delusional to the point where they feel like they don't need a man unless he is basically paying for their lives. Unless he's a sponsor, he means nothing. You know, this is the type of mentality that has been force fed to a lot of women throughout society for 20 or 30 years. It's not about what a man can contribute and add to their lives. It's literally, you need a man to sponsor your whole lifestyle. You know, it's really pretty much like a pay to play thing. And what's also coincided with this is social media and, you know, webcam and OnlyFans and this type of dynamic, right? Because a lot of women feel like they can get a lot of guys' attention, so they want guys to pay for it. And that's not quality attention. That's not real attention with good intention. That's just sexual lust attention that you probably don't want from certain guys, right? So you can eliminate all those so-called options. We're talking about real options from guys you like, that you want to be with. How many of those guys are giving you attention that you really want to give you attention? Those are real options. Everyone else is just fodder, just ego boost. It's just there to be a client to you, and that's fine, right? They serve their purposes to pay you and to coat your pockets. But we're talking about a man that you want to spend your life with, if that's what you want, right? Or have a long-term committed relationship. You can't treat that guy like a customer. You can't treat that guy like you treat all your other clients on OnlyFans. It's not pay to play, right? You're trying to have your man pay a la carte all the way through life, you know what I mean? Until death. You want love, you want understanding, but you're trying to get your man to pay to play. How does that work? And that's one thing, you know, having a certain expectation for a guy in a relationship. But like she was just talking about, you're talking about a guy that immediately you come in and have to do that. Spend a ton of money and pay bills and, you know, really invest in something that you may not even know that you're going to be with for any certain real amount of time. And so, again, man, you know, it's just very unrealistic to do that. And it's like, well, it's beginning to look to me, man, where a lot of women just don't like men. They don't like men. I think they accuse men of being gay and saying, okay, you know what, you must not like women. But I think a lot of these women just don't like men. They despise men. They only want to use men for sex and for financial gain. That's it. That's why a lot of women are getting away with this, is because for a lot of guys, that's okay. Right? And their standards haven't risen to the level of some of these other guys who are saying, you know what, I'm not dealing with this, right? Or, you know what, if you want me just for sex, I'll just give you sex and that's it. You know, or if you just want me for sex and money temporarily, I'll give you a little bread, right? I'll pay you to leave, then pay to keep you, right? So as long as there's a deal between two people, you know, that'll work for people, right? That's not a problem. Problem is, and a lot of men are having, is that as a woman, you're saying there's no men out here, and no man wants to take you seriously, and no man wants to be in a relationship, and all he does is want to cheat. Well, that, you know, you're treating him like this. You have this type of mindset where everything is about monetary gain and about what you're getting out of it. Well, of course, guys are going to see that about you, and they're going to get what they can get from you and get up on out of there and dash. And see, I don't necessarily advocate for that. Usually when I see a girl that's not my style, I'm not going to keep pursuing. I'm not going to try to hit the draws and leave. But a lot of men will. They will smash then dash. They'll laugh at you. They say, oh, okay, this what this chick is trying to do. All right. Well, I'm going to show her. I'm going to go ahead and get them draws, and then I'm going to slide out. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't my style, but I see how a lot of guys do that. And that's probably what some of these girls are complaining about, right? Is, oh, this guy is not standing with me. But a lot of the times it's the way you treat the guys as well. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing that what a guy is getting out of the deal is an afterthought. Plain and simple. And what's crazy is that I'm not sure how these women feel like they have the leverage to do this. I'm trying to remind a lot of men as well, like, there's another one out here, man. You don't gotta sell the farm. You ain't gotta give all the money away, man. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta turn your pockets inside out, man. We ain't gotta play rabbit ears, man. We ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying, empty out the wallet just because, you know, she gave you a little smirk, a little, she touched your leg a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta exercise more self-control. But a lot of these women be capped, you know what I mean? And really just guys don't like them, or guys don't really take them seriously, or they're not really ready for a relationship. And they'll just, you know, when somebody asks them why they single, they'll just say, oh, these guys, they ain't on my level, or they can't pay for me, or, you know, they need to pay for me. But so I understand there's a level of cap these women trying to pass around as well. And it's like, that's not the standard, lady. But back to my point, you know, a lot of these women are going around like they have the leverage. Let them tell it. There's more quality women than there's quality men. So if that's true, right, it may not be true, but if that is true, even more so, you would think that they would understand that the leverage swings in the favor of men on that. And again, I'm not asking women to chase men. I'm just saying that, you know, it's just so far to the side of, I gotta pay you to get your attention. Like, that's ridiculous. So as soon as I know me, right, as soon as I'm underneath those conditions, I'm looking elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it probably wouldn't even get me to that. I kind of would see how she deals with me and understand that, okay, this is who she is, and move forward. It's just too many out here. It's too many. So I don't see how they get that level. And it's crazy because of many of these women that do this, like we saw in the Cheesecake Factory video, is a lot of them aren't really that great. They're not that special. They're maybe average to slightly above average women. You know, I could totally understand a woman who is elite in terms of their looks, and certain aspects about them are elite. But if you're a basic woman, I don't see how you're expecting all of that. You know what I mean? Because you're certainly not getting it. You're certainly not getting it. I know some women with some good money that would love to have a good man by their side. They might give up a little bit of that money to get a good man by their side. And you want money for a quality man? I mean, you gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be kidding me. It sounds like a lot of women's approach is almost like a negotiation, right? Like, everything is negotiable, right? I get it, right? You know, this is how it works in life in general, right? And I know about negotiations. Let me tell you that. But the entitlement for something that should be earned is crazy to me. Something that should be earned, something that should be a great thing. If a man was to come in and pay for everything, hey, don't worry about that, ma, I got it. You know, that's a great thing, because some guys are going to do that. Some guys are going to say, look, hey, all this shit is tax written off. You know what I'm saying? They got it set up to where they could write off the whole date. They could write off everything. And they'll absorb it on their taxes or whatever. Like, could be conducive to something like that, right? And it'll benefit both parties. But it's the way some of these women are that turns men off. It makes them feel like, you know what? Nah, let me go to someone who at least appreciates what I'm doing for them. They don't think it comes required to be with them. A man has to give a lot to get a little. All those things that many of these women require are things that a wife should get, or a longtime girlfriend should get, that's put in some work, that's done their end of the bargain, that is proven that they love and care about that man. These women are so lost, man. Some of these women are so lost, bruh. So lost. And then they wonder why you don't even want to approach half these women. It's almost gotten to the point where it may not be worth it. It's gotten to the point where I just think a lot of guys want to know up front what kind of woman is she? You know, I don't want to waste none of my time. And if it's just a sexual lust, no bullshitting around. Let's get straight to it. The women want you to be a client, their best friend, and a sucker all at the same time. And then all of a sudden, once you pass that threshold of being too much of a sucker, they're gone. They don't really respect you anyway. But yeah, but what's a man to do? What's a man to do? Let me know what y'all think, man. Hit them comments hard. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. That's me signing out. But until next time, be easy.